Storied history of triggered abilities in Moto. I really should have just like F6 the game 1 lives. Wow. Yeah, sorry about that. That might spell the end to my evening if I can't get back on. I really hope it doesn't. I know my daily's done because that was game 1, so there's no way I'm winning game 2. Those Corsair trick game 1 lives killed me, basically. They didn't kill me, like, literally. They, like, just, like, killed me the clock when... Oh. Yep. Crash. By the time I get back, I'm going to have to concede a daily game, which I can't win. And then play the 8-man game and hope to win game 2. But this could easily spend the end of the evening because there's nothing... Wow. Yeah. I gotta concede this match. There's nothing I can do. I gotta focus on trying to win the other game in time. Yeah. Moto crashed. Ugh. I'm starting to learn. I don't think this is a deck I can multi-table or like play multiple events in. There's just no way. I don't think I can play multiple events with this deck. Like, too many triggers. Cool. Holy smokes. That's a lot of heroes' downfalls. Let's see what he does, but... Pretty sure my stuff is dying. So he kills the dissolve one, right? Yeah. So if I can run him out of heroes' downfalls, then Ashiok sticks. That's pretty good. Omen Speaker. Let's get some frets. Drum is not what I want. I'm okay with King Makar, since it's a fret. I don't know. If I was him, I'd probably like kill this, get Dark Betrayal, kill this. Yep. That's what he does. So... He's going to run out of downfalls, though. He's got a dissolve and a downfall. So hopefully with gold from Makar, I can run him out with his last downfall. And then I might be able to play Ashiok eventually. Sure, whatever. It's fine. Corsair Crewfix. That's pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. Dissolve. Ugh. I know he has a hero's downfall in hand. It still is worth my while getting rid of the Dissolve, I suspect, here. To, like, protect the Sphinx. So, I'm going to get rid of Dissolve. Anyways. Oh, wow. That's not good. That's really. Oh my god. That's really. I literally have a turn to draw an untapped blue source. I said untapped blue source. I guess Sphinx is good, but oh no. Wow. I have two options. I can either believe that I can win this game somehow, with a Cura and a Sphinx, and I'm gonna concede this game because I need time to win the next game. I'm not winning this game, so might as well move on with my life. What? It didn't register the sideboard? Oh no, right. It doesn't register the sideboard when you log out. He brought in about a bunch of counter spells, but there's nothing I can do about those. So I don't want the Bile Blights, and I don't want the Trident Tactics for sure. Nothing else that I can think of. I guess I could have one and all for one Trident Tactics, and like get a Courser for sometimes. That's it. Uh, yeah. I'll update. I'm 1-2 in the daily event, unfortunately, because of the. Well, yeah, I have this awkward problem. I'd love to test this deck more, but I can't play two Qs at once. I can only play one Q. Yeah. Would I like to play first? Yes. I like to mulligan. No, but I am in terrible shape here. I should really mulligan this hand, fundamentally, but I really need a fast hand, so I need to get lucky. Like, really lucky. I should have mulliganed this hand and do Carroted, sure. This is my fault. This is going to be a short game. Sure, Fozzie's away. It's not important. Oh, Feast of Dreams might be better than an all. You're right. Good point. Like with Springleaf Drum, I can draw like Omen Speaker as well, and Daring Thief to like start producing mana, so it's not as bad. Like for example, if I draw Omen Speaker here, I could go like Omen Speaker Paint Seer. He takes Ashiok, okay. Or I could just do that. Yep, play Paint Seer. Pass. Okay, my opponent was a little greedy this game as well. Let's see here. I don't know if I should be really playing Progenitus Sphinx. That's probably incorrect. Because of the Scry free. Oh, Gainsay, right. Remember, your opponent's sideboarded counter spells. There's a reason. Kiora. Kiora's not too problematic since I have Hero's Downfall eventually, but yeah. Let's see. I guess I could go. Oh, jeez. I can go King Bakar, Springleaf Drum, Fotsies, take Ashiok, I guess. He has so many Sphinxes, it doesn't matter. Bottom, pass. Sure, whatever. Yeah, so you play Fotzies, take one of these, probably Dissolve. Oh, really? Hero's Downfall, sure. I don't know why he did that. I guess. Oh, it's a May ability, so I have to target. No. Oh man, there's Cura as well. Oh, that's not good. No, I think protecting the Cura is the right play overall. Like, I think I would have won this game with given time. So, while it's a loss, I'll count it as a win. Because I don't think he's winning against the card advantage I'm getting here. Plus Ashiok. I don't think you're one to comment on that one. I don't even care if he kills something, do I? Well, he definitely should block first. That's fine, I don't mind. There's nothing I can do, so... Right. I don't mind this block format, but... yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I know. To be fair, you would have made Krakens in a normal game, so there is that question. I would probably dissolve the hero's downfall. I mean, I was running out of time. Um, okay. So, the Inspired deck. I honestly think it was better than the results gave. Two of those results were match losses to time. And to be honest, it was more match losses to triggers. Um, like, in a real match, wouldn't take me as long to make those decisions. I gotta play Bug Control tomorrow. But honestly, I like Chapin's deck. Well, at least online. I mean, I don't know in real life, but I'll play Bug Control tomorrow, honestly. But I think this was. I just think this is the best deck in the format. I'm gonna try the Bug Control deck. I might try the Banned Planeswalkers deck just for fun, and I think I'm just gonna play this at the Grand Prix. There's nothing wrong with this deck. My opponents can be as prepared as they want. I don't think there's anything they can do with against this deck. The reason Chapin's deck is not as popular as Bug is that Chapin's deck is also the most expensive block deck not closed. Like, to give you an idea, this is like 32 to 40 ticks. These temples add up to about 30, maybe a bit less. So you have 70 ticks in temples. Sorry. No, sorry, 60 ticks in temples. Then you have about 40 ticks in mana confluence, so you have 100 ticks in your mana base. Then Fleece Main Lion is nothing. Sylvan Carrot is not much, maybe like 5 ticks for the lot. So you're at 105. The coursers are going to be 8 each, so you're at like 1 for free. Polukranos. Polukranos can be replaced with Reaper, so I wouldn't count Polukranos just because I could replace it with Reaper. Thoughtseize are 5 each, so you're at 156. Heroes Downfalls, I'm not sure how much they are. They're probably like 3 each, so you're at about 170. Sense of Believers is like 5 ticks, so you're 190. Brimaz is a full 15 each, so you're going up to 250. Elspeth is at least 15 each, so it's 310. Sideboard's not too expensive. You probably get the whole sideboard for about 10 ticks. So what are we talking? 320, 330 ticks. If we look at the Bug Control deck, the Bug Control deck has Sphinx, which is like 2 ticks for the playset, 20 ticks for the Silence the Believers, Courses up to 55, 60 roughly. Cures are like 10 each right now, I think, so you're looking at about... the non-Ashiok version's probably like... I have Ashok's on the board actually, so 90... 90... You could like get away with only 1 mana confluence, so you're looking at about 140, 150. So like the Bug deck is like a full 150 ticks less than Chapin's. So that's why Chapin's deck is not like everywhere, is because it's 320 tickets. And costless matter. Somebody did ask about the Constellation deck. I'm not a fan, guys. I'm sorry. I don't think it's good. Like, just seems weaker than anything else you could be doing in the format. And I don't like the Constellation deck. Like, the black-green one's okay. I wouldn't play the Junk Constellation. I think that deck's terrible. I might play the black-green one. Like the Corsair, the Curfist Insight one. Yeah. Yeah. Here's the truth, by the way. Chapin's deck crushes Bug like nobody's business. So honestly, I'll try Bug tomorrow. But I am getting more and more convinced that I'm not gonna reinvent the wheel. Chapin's deck, Chapin wasn't the only person to play his deck. Junk Midrange did extremely well at the Pro Tour. It won the Pro Tour. It's not easy to fight. It's not easy to combat. It's gonna be probably the best deck in Manchester. I don't think it's close. It like... like, yeah, I don't think it's close. Your threats are cheaper than their removal spells. By the time they like get to Size to Believers, it's already hexproofing your threats. You're playing 4 Elspeth, which is the most powerful card in the format. And you're playing great, like, a removal suite. And if you replace the Polukranos with Reaper of the Wilds, which I believe is correct, I think Reaper's well positioned. And it, like, it does, you know, still goes through Sphinx. I like Reaper of the Wilds a lot in the metagame. I mean, this deck just does it all. I love when I tested this online, I went like what was it 5-2, and one of those losses was to time. Um, because I was triple queuing, not double. Uh, yeah. I'll try Bug. Let's get back the Bance Planeswalkers deck, by the way. The crash kind of wiped it, but yeah. Let me get the Bance Planeswalkers deck back there. So we've got Temple of to start with. So we've got 4, 4, plenty 4. You've got 1 mana confluence. So 1. You've got Sylvan Caryatid, obviously. Forcer of Prefix. Prognostic. I've got 4. I don't have 8, by the way. It's just the way Moto's displaying. You have Kiora's Follower, which I think is cool. Like, Kiora's Follower is actually... This is the only deck in the format to play Kiora's Follower. I need 1 more of those. There we go. I'm not going to have the promo one. So, Kiora's Follower... Unravel the Aether. This deck originally played 4 Unravel the Aethers. I'm not convinced that's correct anymore. But let's put them there for now. It plays 4 Banishing Light. Since it doesn't have like there we go. Banishing Light. Reprisal is an interesting one. Oh, sweet. I got a sweet version of Reprisal. Kiora. I'm not convinced, like... I'm pretty sure this deck could be improved dramatically. But the key of the deck is... 4 Kiora, 4 Elspeth, 2 Ajani. I might need to win a little more before I can play this deck, since I'm running a little short on tickets. Unless someone can, like, donate me a Johnny's. There's probably a ton of our Johnny's online. How good is Brimaz in the Junk Midrange deck? It does get outclassed quite quickly, but the thing is, if Brimaz survives 1 turn, it actually gained enough of an advantage. Like, being able to smash for 4 is quite important. I could see cutting 1. I wouldn't cut more, because you need frets. That's the whole reason that deck's good. Johnny Mentor of Heroes. It played 2 of those. Then it plays the tech, which I love. 4 Sedge Scorpion. I have no idea why I'm missing a Sedge Scorpion. Like, I've drafted this enough, and Sedge Scorpion is probably one of my favorite cards in the format. So I have no idea why I don't have more copies of it. I gotta remove the My Cards restriction. DSI, there's 2. We have Glare of Heresy. Not Glary of Heresy. Glare of Heresy. Dissolve. Arbor Colossus. Reprisal. I mean, Reprisal is an interesting one. I don't know how good it actually is. Perplexing Chimera. This is a text, by the way. This is a tech, by the way. Perplexing Chimera. No, we're going old school annuls. I have to add all the terrible annuls first. Or I could show all versions, I guess. There we go. And then we have Island. So this is basically a blue-green deck splashing for Elspeth. It plays 4 islands and 8 forests. We're kind of covered on the promo islands. 4 island and 8 forest. But I mean, it plays like 12 temples, so I think it's fine. There we go. Okay. This deck list, this deck list can use work. I'm pretty sure, I mean, it's kind of awkward because by not playing black, I guess your removal suite is so much worse. I'm pretty sure 4 Banishing Light is correct. But like 4 Unravel the Aethers is probably not. Apparently not. I mean, I've had Daring Feet be fine, but apparently it bugged someone else, so I don't know. The problem, the bug was that it was too many triggers, so I lost the time, which sucked. So I can't even like test. I can't actually test the deck online. Like I can't test it, but I have to play 1 match at a time. Ideally, I like to double queue. I don't think I can double queue this block format though. It's not possible. It's possible when it's like an aggro deck, but it's not possible to double queue this block format because there's like Corsair triggers and Scry triggers and you have like Noxious Sphinx. So you can't even like F6 because like If you F6, they can notice you F6 and they just go like, okay, kill your guy. Oh, good, he F6'd. So I think I'm gonna have to play the matches one by one, which is gonna be painful. This deck though, I'm pretty sure could do with an extra Curious Follower. Kiora. I'm gonna modify this deck now. Let's see. I'm trying to think of the removal suite of this deck because it doesn't play Hero's Downfall and it doesn't play Silence of Believers, so it's a little stuck. Banishing Light is probably the best available. Then everything else seems subpar. It's worth noting there's no counter spells because the deck wants to tap out every turn. Like just play Bane's Big Planeswalker. Let's see what's in Pharos block that might fit this deck. There might not be anything, like it might be bank colors, just don't do it. This deck could play Palu Chronos. You could play like another Johnny, I guess. Let's do this by mana cost. So I'd remove black cards and red cards. I'm trying to figure my control for 7 is the play. Oh, I shouldn't like look at just my cards, by the way. I should look at the whole block. I probably don't want Mystic. Doesn't do enough. Yeah, Hypnotics. I mean, yeah, I don't think Mystic does enough. Although it's an interesting counter to Courser because you know what's on top. It's actually Mystic's very interesting in the Courser mirrors. I'm not convinced, by the way. I'm just putting it there just for now. Hypnotic Siren is interesting in the sense that I may be in the market for a 7 mana mind control. Fast Desire actually it's a lot of mana, but it responds to Progenitus things not too badly. God's Willing doesn't do anything really. I don't have enough creatures for tasks and tactics. Uh, um, Yeah, so Heliod and Eidolon Blossoms. My personal issue with that is that you're playing a junk deck that's slightly weaker than junk, and that's a lot of 4 drops. Like you're basically hoping to go Eidolon, Heliod, make a guy for 4. Like it's not great, and if they kill your Eidolon, you have a very expensive like engine. Plus Elspeth. I mean, you play your own Elspeth, so it's not so bad, but I'm not a fan. That what? Sorry. Oh, the Infinite Blossoms combo. Okay. I can explain that quite simply. So, all right, some of the cards of this deck would work for it actually. So you play. So you play Tassa's Ire, Curious Follower, and the other card you want is Market Festival. 1 second. You're about to see as well why this didn't really work. Uh, so the Infinite Blossoms combo. It's worth noting this can be a Voyaging Satyr, but having it being Curious Follower is important for what I'm about to show you. So, the combo revolves around Tassa's Ire, untapping repeatedly a Curious Follower. So with Curious Follower, you can untap a Nick Foss. So if Nick Foss is producing at least 5 mana, you're basically producing 1 mana per iteration. Uh, Let me double check. Yeah. So if it, no, sorry. So it has to produce 5 additional mana. So yeah, your devotion has to be quite high. However, you can also have a Market Festival. So if you have a land with a Nick Foss, or okay, so ideally you want a Nick Foss with Market Festival, so that whenever you tap the land for mana, the second ability being the mana ability, um, then what happens is that you're producing at least 5 mana. You have to produce at least 5 mana. At that point, you can untap your Curious Follower, uh, and make 1 mana per iteration, which gives you infinite mana. Uh, then how you're killing your opponent with infinite mana is typically you can get infinite mana instant speed, so you can actually just tap their army every turn, which is quite nice. With Bow of Nylea, if you have a Curious Follower, you can just make your creatures infinitely big with Bow of Nylea. And obviously with infinite mana, you can go like Eidolon Blossoms, draw a bunch of cards. The reason this deck didn't work is it needs a million combo pieces in a format with a bunch of decks that remove your stuff. And the problem is it's weak to the aggro decks, so it just doesn't work. Um, as if now could the combo work in another deck? Maybe, but I doubt it. I have my doubts. Anyways, yeah, 2 Market Festivals does it too, without being too fancy. Yeah, but it needs so many cards, and like it's very disruptible. You can kill like the creature. You can kill, um, you know, and even if you have the infinite mana, sometimes it actually doesn't do the trick, which always makes me laugh. Um, Pin to the Earth might be okay. It's an option against aggro. We could play there's the janky Sage of Hours Johnny combo, but that's not gonna happen. Yeah, that combo was very sketchy. It didn't work out at all. It ended up being like 33%. It was like, I think, the worst performing archetype by a long shot. If this could remove Sylvan Caryatid, it would be worth it, a card in the sideboard. But it doesn't. I have an idea. I might have to modify the deck's mana base, but let's put it here. By the way, what I'm doing here is yeah, I'm not the fan of the reprisals. What I'm doing here is I'm actually going to try to modify the deck quite what does this do again? I'm not adding this. This is probably the worst position creature in the format. Like, there is a 2/4 that is a little dominant, and a 0/3. Yeah, this card is like unplayable in this format. Here's something I'm going to try. By the way, I think I like. So for me, the base concept of this deck that I like is accelerants into a turn 3 Planeswalker, or turn 4 a Johnny, or or an Elspeth on turn 5. That's the concept of the deck for me. So I'm not gonna touch that. What I'm gonna touch is possibly, instead of some of the removal, is see if I can create a little more of a mid-range deck closer to Chapin's. I just put the removal in the sideboard. Pelucranos is at least worth considering. Yeah, we're getting to the stage where this is marginal stuff. I have always wondered about this card. I was surprised it wasn't played. Seems like a good way to win Sphinx Mirrors, but then everything you own dies to Elspeth, I guess. I think the rest is too expensive. Yeah. Okay. This is the banned Planeswalker deck, but I want to modify it a lot. I don't like these reprisals at all. I just don't think they're matching well in the format. They don't stop anything really. It does something else. You can put a +1/+1 counter on their Sphinx to kill it with Elspeth as well, which is pretty funny. Um, let's just solidify this deck. I think that I like the concept. Chapin's deck did have removal to crush aggro, but if the field is less aggro, is this? This may be a worse list than Chapin's, by the way. Like it may be a worse something else, which generally is a bad angle. What this deck does that Chapin's doesn't, I guess, is it has followers and Kiora and a Johnny. Although you could easily add a Johnny to Chapin's deck, so literally it's the Kioras that really matter. So let's see. This deck does definitely not play 28 lands. Right. Not after I'm done with it. Yeah. So what this gains on Chapin's deck is the mid-range threat is Prognostic Sphinx. And it gains some more accelerants. And it loses some of the removal. The thing is with accelerants like this, I would rather have a 4-drop. I definitely don't have... like, if I wasn't adding all this other stuff, I would not have... like, I'd have 4 Cures followers, but yeah, probably back to free. Is this a deck? Oh yeah, the Siren of the Silent Song. Yeah, you're right. Once we're done with this, I'll probably do that. Like I'll probably like add them to that deck. I think they're pretty good. Yeah. Sorry, I thought of adding it. Thanks for reminding me. I don't know if Infinite Blossoms does not fit in this deck at all. Like at all. Um
Sorry about that. What do you guys reckon about a deck like this? I need to change the mana base a bit, by the way, but um, let's try this as a one-off. This two. I took the banned hexproof deck and I took out some of the weaker cards like Reprisal and Unravel the Ether. I need to change the mana base. And basically, I went with Chapin's approach, but instead of playing Heroes Downfall is really good. Like I'd play Heroes Downfall if I could, but instead of playing Heroes Downfall and Silence of Believers and Thoughtseize, you're just maxing out on frets. So before I forget, could play one copy of this card. Yeah, like basically this deck's blue is for Kiora's follower, Kiora herself, and Prognostic Sphinx. But you definitely have a green-white shell. I mean, Kiora's actual card advantage, especially in this deck, it's actually quite hard to get through. Hour of Need. What are we doing with Hour of Need? We're upgrading our Caryatids and Coursers, is that it? Yeah, Dragon's mainly the red. You get access to cheap red removal as well if you want to. Yeah. I don't know if I have Xenagos to make this actually good. Like Hour of Needs, like what? It's to upgrade like your Elspeth tokens, or I think I prefer Dictate of Heliod over Hour of Need. Like, Dictate seems to interact post-board quite well with... Like... I am actually wondering, like... Dictate of Heliod, like, makes every threat in the bug deck pretty much have trouble blocking your stuff all of a sudden. Like, Brimaz becomes a monster. Like, one Elspeth activation is probably gonna end the game, and yeah. Sure. Okay. I gotta try second Dictate over the Arbor Colossus, just because I know how Arbor Colossus works. It's not a surprise. I wonder about the Sedge Scorpions, because they were the original version against aggro. I suspect you still need them. Like, this seems to have a better matchup against aggro than the original version, because you have Fleece Mains and Brimazes, and the Sedge Scorpions really won't hurt. Okay, for now, I don't want to jam decks with Buck Control. What I would like is, does anybody have free Johnnies they can lend to me? I don't think I have the ticks for free of these. Banishing Lights I don't mind, but Johnnies are a bit too much. Yeah, Hour of Need is interesting. I don't know if this is the deck for it. I mean, I think I would rather have the extra Planeswalker. But yeah. But yeah, Hour of Need would like upgrade your random one-off soldiers. Oh, you mean free Johnnies is too much? Yeah, maybe. What would we replace this Ajani with then? Like, Ajani's really good with... I could do this, to be fair. And then play... what else on the board? No, I need another sideboard card. I guess I can put back the Arbor Colossus. Two Ajani's, that'd be good, actually. If you could. Yeah, if you could lend me two Ajani's, that'd actually be very good. I could find the Banishing Lights and the Sedge Scorpion, but the Johnny was going to be expensive for me. I may be running low on ticks after those debacles. I'm okay. I have enough to buy that stuff. I have two glares already. What else would you do? I mean, I like this angle. I think I like this angle over the original Bant deck. Especially the Dictate of Heliod. Let me actually see. I need to add some planes to the deck. Since the original deck didn't have this much white. God's Willing as a one-off I could see. I took out the counter spells. I mean, you could have them, but this deck is going to tap out pretty much every turn. Or want to, at least. Uh, like, it's pretty obvious when you have a counter spell. This is. I like the fact that this wins the prognostics. This deck probably wins the prognostics mirrors with a Johnny and Dictate of Heliod. Dictate doesn't interact very well with your Elspeths, but I think at that point you're okay. Yeah. I'm not gonna play any more games tonight. I would appreciate. I'll probably have to play Buck Control tomorrow, anyways. I'd like to try this. Just trying to figure out the mana base. Kyora's follower is a lot weaker all of a sudden, but I still think I want two Kyora's followers. Do I? It produces mana. It untaps Sphinx. I was not aware I had two foil ones of these. Okay. Definitely want more mana, because Kyora's follower does allow me to cast Brimaz if I go tap one on turn. Free. It does allow me to go Courser. Yeah, I think it's worth trying follower, just see how it goes. I like this actually quite a bit. I'm not sure if it's better than Chapin's deck. I think the dark Chapin's deck is better, but if everyone's moving towards like maximum targeted removal, then having 4 Fleecebane, 3 Sphinx might be good. Not having access to Fotzies kind of stinks. Let's see. I definitely want green. Probably one less island at least. What does... I guess we're gonna go for the limited mana base. Just take a mix of all of it. Yeah, 25. This has to play 25 lands. Yeah, I don't think I would play a Voyaging Satyr. I think Voyaging Satyr does way too little. I'm willing to try Kyora's Follower because Kyora's Follower does interact. Like, say with a Monstrous Fleece main line, you can attack it and, like, untap it. Like, the ability to, like, for example, attacks with Sphinx, and then, or, like, give your Sphinx hexproof and then still be able to untap it is pretty good. You're laughing. I mean, yeah, sure. Go give it a shot for sure. Follower into Brimaz is actually. I'm not 100%. It's not that uncertain. Like, even if you go like, if you have like say one white duel, so say a Temple of Plenty or a Temple of Enlightenment, and then the matching like counter basic like Island Forest, then you already have everything you need to cast Brimaz, and next turn you can cast Temple, so it's actually not that bad. Like, if I go to 24 lands, what am I adding to the deck, right? Like, This deck needs mana. Like I haven't like looked at the curve, but I'm pretty sure this need. Yeah. You have 4 Kioras and Coursers, so I wouldn't worry. And Scrylands, so honestly, I would rather have the extra land and not Mana Screw. Um, like, sure, sometimes I'll flood, but yeah. Like you can always board out a land against the relevant matchups. Like against aggro, you're boarding out the Sphinx and the Ajanis, and probably the Dictate. So, like, say against aggro, right? This stuff goes away, and you're adding this. You're probably adding Glare because they're probably going to be wide aggro. You're probably adding, or if they're, you're either adding Glare or Unravel. It's very rare you're not adding one of the two. Like, you have Force Edge Scorpion and a Pin to the Earth. Uh, and then either 2 Glare or 2 Unravels. So you could, like, board out a land for that. Probably a Mana Confluence. Like, you're boarding out this stuff, yeah. I like Dictative Heliod, actually. I was very surprised. I guess, like, there wasn't really a deck that wanted Dictative Heliod. Uh, but it's such a powerful effect, and the only worry I have is that I'm playing 4 Banishing Light and 4 Coursers, and that's going to tempt them to keep in, like, their Unravel the Ethers. Because they can remove the Banishing Light. So all of a sudden Dictate becomes a little weaker. You know, Pit to the Earth isn't actually that bad. If you think, like, against, like, say, the Heroic deck, like, it's actually quite fine. Like, Pit to the Earth, they're, like, 3/3 or 4/4 or something. And all of a sudden, like, sure, they have a blocker, but it doesn't matter. Uh, the heroic guy. I think he's a bit slow, and he doesn't actually block well enough. Problem with time to feed as well is you're not actually, like, against the aggro decks, they're actually summoning 5/5s for free mana, so you're not really helping yourself. Pit of the Earth is probably fine. Like, if you have Seth Scorpions and Up into the Earth, that's like 5 anti-aggro cards. And the aggro decks don't really play cheap removal. Or they shouldn't after board against you. Maybe the red aggro decks still have Lightning Strikes. They won't have Magma Jet. Yeah, I'm going to end it on this. So let's just put it there. Erebos. Well, when you're playing against aggro, I know the cards can be crappy, but, like, all I care about is just trading 1-for-1 in the early game, and the aggro decks have God's Willing to do with Sedge Scorpion. That's about it. Oh, they have Coordinated Assault as well. That's not good. I like the fact this is 1 mana, but yeah. Dictate of Erebos. The main issue is nothing you own dies. Like, that's the problem. That said, Dictate of Erebos in something like Chapin's deck, that could be quite good. Because if at any point you summon an Elspeth and make tokens, and you play Dictate the last turn, those tokens can never die. Like, you literally just wrath them. So, there is that. That angle's pretty good. I would play it in black-white, probably. Yeah, just because of that interaction. It's a bit expensive, but once it gets going, they're pretty much dead. Like, they can never attack. Uh, yeah, our deal's way too slow. We can check. I mean, I'm gonna want to go to bed in a bit. Like, it's getting quite late. Um, let's cut planes. Let's see. First. Too slow. Last breath doesn't really stop a lot of the threats. Prazel doesn't do enough in my view. There's nothing. No, there's no. Maybe at free mana, sometimes you get lucky. There's something like good. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, the list was just put together quite quickly, so yeah, there's nothing really else. I mean, to be honest, there's not that many aggro decks, so I mean, this should be fun against aggro with Carotid Courser to start with. Plus, you have Banishing Light, which is already very good. What would you recommend to change that, though? To change the kind of pressure cards angle. Like Disruption, I don't think is the angle of this deck. We'd be playing black for that for Fotsies. Uh, what are we putting God's Willing over, though? It's already a bit tight. By the way, this is good on Sphinx. Make it a 7/7 flyer. Hexproof. A free 2 flash flying? Or 4? Oh, like... Oh. I'm gonna try an all-in deck on Dictate. Oh, already have Rimas. I think you're losing value from the Sphinx not being in, but I don't think this deck works. Probably just a bit. I'm gonna go to some falling asleep. Yeah, I don't think this works. Okay, I like the I still like the banned version of the deck. I think a Johnny like fills a similar role to Dictate of Heliod. So yeah. I'll leave it at this. I'll probably try bug control tomorrow. I'd love to try this though. Oh well. Yeah, that's what I meant. I was looking at like how it would work with the green Eidolon, but it just does Constellation just doesn't work. It's not enough pressure or card advantage. I think Cura is really powerful in this deck. We're underestimating how good this is. Like, when you have Cura and like Corsair Crucifix, I think it's pretty close to it, as full of potential as it's gonna be. You have Sphinx Cure and Crewfix, I mean. It's a 2/2 for 4. That is a slight problem. Oh well. I'm gonna go to bed. I don't know about this deck. Might be good, might be bad. We'll see. Okay, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna fall asleep.